Yo!
Hello everyone, I'm rockjmt. I'm a DKC speedrunner. I do DKC1 and DKC2. Today I'm gonna show you up DKC1 all stages. So I'm gonna do all the stage like in the name, but try to go fast. And I'm with Basement Hero, my commentator. So thank you a lot too for coming and commentate my run.
No problem, dude. Big fan of showing up for the donkey.
So we're gonna start right away. So the time gonna start when I hit one player. I'm gonna count down to 3. I'm gonna reset the game, and Basement gonna explain like why I do that.
It's resetting the game is actually setting up the first glitch that we're gonna be seeing. It's gonna be coming. It starts now, basically. It's really weird. It starts before you select a file. But yeah, Rock's gonna count you down, and you're gonna see what he did.
So I'm gonna count down. 1, 2, 3, go.
Rolling in. So, you may have noticed he started in the funky plane instead of his donkey. That's actually what that glitch at the start was. It saves 1 second because the plane moves slightly faster across the map than your Kongs do. Right after that, we're gonna... Ooh. Unfortunately, doesn't get the 1-1 extendo. We're killing Donkey because Donkey is significantly slower than Diddy in all points in time. We're basically only ever going to want to play as Diddy. And in general, we're going to try to go fast. The main way to go fast in this game is rolling. Because it is such a basic game, there's only rolling and jumping, more or less. Most of the time save and optimization is going to come from how cleanly you can move your guy. We're gonna take a secret route through the bottom of this stage. This barrel just shoots you across half the level, saves a bunch of time. This game's also gonna go pretty fast. There's not a lot of downtime in between stages, and it's a pretty short run. So I'll try my best to keep up.
My D-pad.
Oh my!
My D-pad just nope. It's okay. It's just only the beginning.
That was a very funny death. Because he died in the exit because the game doesn't pull you through the exit if you're not holding right, which is actually important for a thing called fast exits. Anyway, we're gonna see that stage again. At least it's a short one. That was like the funniest possible death you could have taken.
Yeah, it's okay.
Anyway, so I might as well talk about rolls. When you're rolling, you're faster, obviously. So we're gonna roll a lot. Rolling through enemies makes you go even faster, and that's the key technology in the speedrun, is trying to roll as much as you can and roll through as many guys as you can. So that little look back he did right there, seeds the position of those blue guys so he can roll through and get the speed boost. Crawl spaces are kind of buggy. If you hold down and go into one, you can kind of get ground state and jump through it instead of having to crawl through it. It saves a million years. It's so slow, the crawling animation.
Yep.
Coming up on the first water level here. Water levels in Donkey are pretty difficult, all things considered. There's a lot of optimization that goes into them with the way that your cornering works. Water physics are pretty heavily based on momentum, and you want to carry your momentum around corners and make sure that you're already heading in the direction you want to be heading before you get there. Also, Unguard the Swordfish is incredibly fast underwater.
It's okay.
Oh, that's not a big deal. He's going to come back. 2 Unguards, by the way. Just double your Unguard, double your fun. Yeah, anytime he's convenient to get, we're going to get him. The only water stage we're not going to see him is going to be in World 4. Now, coming up into 1-5, this stage has a few more of those shortcut barrels going over the top of the stage. And towards the end, we're gonna see the first, well, the second, but Rock didn't hit the first one. Extended roll, the big extended roll. Extended rolls are a unique trick to DKC 1 in the franchise. Here it is right here. Nice. When you roll through an enemy, like I mentioned, you get a speed boost. If you're not pushing Y when you roll through the enemy, you don't get the speed boost until you repress the Y button. So by changing the timing on when we get that speed boost, we can do a lot of really interesting things. Like the name implies, it can let you roll farther, but it can also be used to like change your trajectory through the air, which is kind of how that trick works to get up into that tree without taking the barrel. It's a really cool trick. It's definitely like, it feels really satisfying. And in case you missed it, there's going to be another one right here at the start of 2-1 here. Winky's Walkway. Send your roll through those 2 crems and you get through the bird, and you get to go very fast. It's a really cool one. If they interest you at all, you should definitely practice that one. It feels good. It is a pretty good like tutorial for how the mechanic works, and it looks really cool when you do it right. It's everything you want.
Yeah, it's not hard to learn.
Yeah, this is the famous minecart stage. We skipped it. It's over. That level has a developer-intended warp. There's going to be a couple of those. If you've seen DKC 2 or 3, there are warps in the first 2 worlds entirely. In DKC 1, they're spread out over the course of the game. So there's not like entire worlds of warps. They're actually in some pretty convenient levels to skip. They're in like a lot of auto-scrollers and stuff. It's actually pretty nice. More crawl space zips here. These rolls to like get across the tires and like those jumps over the bees to like get across that without touching the second tire are actually deceptively precise. It is very easy to die here. We call that spooky jump. You can figure out why for yourself. We're going left. Now this level's almost over too. It's another developer-intended warp. These guys here, when they're awake, they do damage to you unless you're rolling. If you happen to be rolling when you cross through one of them, it just doesn't hit you. And now we're going to do another glitch setup. So this is called a super jump. When he takes damage with Donkey, notice how he jumped off the top of the ceiling there. That put Donkey in a weird state that he is currently still in. If you get your second guy, take damage, and then bounce off an enemy without releasing the B button, you still have that state, and Donkey will just ascend infinitely up into the sky. And there's a warp barrel up there that happens to only be accessible by Donkey. It's just not there if you're Diddy. Conveniently, it just works out. You'll notice that I didn't talk about any of the bosses. They're all exceptionally dull. Every one of them boils down to just hit the guy as soon as he becomes vulnerable.
Yep.
Definitely the weak point of this game. Anyway, the next level is also going to have a warp. 3 warps in a row. Wow. This one's weird, though. It only shows up, like the one from the last stage, if you're Donkey. It also only shows up if you got there fast enough. Like, it's very random set of conditions. A nice upshot. Seeds the RNG. Don't at me. And if you thought that wasn't enough, here's another warp. It's over the top there. There's a tire. Bounces you over the top of the screen into another warp. Don't worry, there's not going to be any more for a while now. So this is going to be some dark magic. We're setting up another super jump state. It's also taking a pause there. That's going to buffer the setup to do the trick correctly. It's going to make the frame window not a frame window. A lot just happened there, and I have plenty of time to talk about it because we're going to fly over this stage at very quick speed. That's called we call it a super free roll. It's not free. Don't let the name fool you. It's the combination of the super jump that I was talking about earlier and a trick called a jump roll, which we will be seeing plenty of as the game goes on. Basically, you get that same height from the super jump as it's normal, but you combine it with roll speed, and you cruise over the entire level incredibly quick. Normally, that level's like an auto-scroller. You have to ride the ropes. And when you do it that way, it is like it's minutes faster, I think. It's a ton faster. Anyway, this is Temple Tempest. This level has a lot of those extended rolls I was talking about earlier. There's one right there, through the naughty wheel. The naughty wheel does not have a hitbox if you're rolling, just because. They're all actually a lot harder than they look. It looks like he's just like kind of holding right and Y. That is not the case. It is actually pretty precise, and you can die very easily in this stage. It's a lot of precise timing and good visual cues. Really cool stage. I think that's like probably one of my favorite levels in the game to do when you like do it correctly. Anyway, Rock's going backwards now, which, I mean, why is he doing that? We're going back to World 1. The category explicitly said that we have to finish all the stages. Didn't say anything about where we enter them from. That's a trick called Map Warp. That sends you... For some reason, when you stop on a corner in the world map, for 1 frame, you can push any face button, and the game will think you're on a valid tile to enter a stage, and it'll send you into a level. But there's no level to that tile. And for some reason, that corner on the world map just sends you to the end of Orangutan Gang. Fortunately, it works out that way. That's all there really is to it. That level is now skipped. See ya. So we are swimming through another water level. This one's pretty dull, but it is a little perilous, because if you get hit in this level, the only fish is at the start. There is no recovery. And the fish is way, way faster. Like, a ton faster, especially in this, like, ending segment. You really don't want to take damage, but it's not too bad. Coming up onto the Queen here, Bumblebee. This boss even has the good decency to flash alternating colors when it's about to be time to hit her again. It's probably one of the like more technical bosses. For some reason, by the way, right barrel, you'll notice he's always grabbing the right one. If you grab left barrel, you get 1 extra frame of lag for every hit, and it makes no sense, but it's a thing. You save like... Whoop! Little off cycle there, but at least you didn't die.
Yep.
Anyway, donkey content. Time for some donkey only 4-1. It's actually pretty far until you get a barrel in this stage. Like, you actually have to go a non-trivial amount of time. Alright, back on track. There's supposed to be a cool roll there. We're not going to see it today, because Donkey ruins everything. Donkey just can't do any of the cool tricks in the game. But Diddy can do this cool trick.
Oops.
Whoop. Never mind, there's no cool trick.
Right.
There might be a cool trick, hold on. Rock's sending everything back so we can see all the cool stuff that he didn't get to do because Donkey ruins everything. What a good guy.
Right. Yeah, I missed my joke.
Nope. 3-frame draw roll in the snow. Ugh. I don't know how to talk. Rolling next to that barrel is actually like really difficult. Because the roll button and the button to pick up a barrel are both Y. So if you mistime your roll, you pick up the barrel and you get sucked into the pit instead. And it's very easy to do. Anyway, this is a keg bounce. For some reason, I'm going to say that a lot about this game because it's not very well coded. When you are holding a steel keg on a icy slope, when you jump, you just get a ridiculous amount of forward momentum. And if you bounce on those birds, you carry that forward momentum, and it looks really cool. And it also goes very fast, and it's way easier to do than you think. Try it at home, kids. This level has a unique soundtrack and a unique background, and we're not going to see any of it because it has a warp. We're going to go ahead and roll out of here. It's going to do a glitch called, it doesn't really have a proper name. You rope over the top of the screen. You hold down as you like jump over the rope, and you can take the rope over the top of the screen and jump into that barrel. That barrel is supposed to be there for donkey only, but if you can get enough height off of the rope, more height than the game intends you are able to, you can just get into it. Saves a couple of swaps. Anyway, this level, Ice Age Alley. We've got the bird, Espresso, and Espresso saves a comical amount of time in this stage, to the point that you actually don't want to grab midway in this stage, because if you die, it is faster to play this level again from the start with Espresso than it is to play the level from midway without Espresso. Like, saves enough time that it's worth, like, doing it twice with the bird would be faster than doing it once without. It's kind of a joke, honestly, like how slow this stage is without the bird. Makes quick work of that one. And now for the longest level in the game. This is Croctopus Chase. The music is great. It's also incredibly long. We will not be getting the fish because Unguard is just at the end of this level, not in a useful location at all. And it's gonna be a very tight test of how well you can mash, how well you can take your corners, and like just how good you know the route. This level's actually incredibly technically difficult for like what looks like just a water level. It's actually, you can save seconds, like mediocre swimming versus good swimming. But he's gonna be doing that for a couple of minutes, so if we have any donations over on the sideline, if you want to throw to those real quick, we're gonna be swimming for a while.
Not a problem. Well, this is Seneth coming in to help host and read donations. Thank you so much for having me, and amazing run so far. No new donations yet, but we do want to make sure that everyone's aware we're still making progress on the 9 delicious circles of hell. So be sure to donate to see that. We also want to make sure that we're making everyone aware of what we're trying to raise money for. Our mission is to promote the education and development of children with intellectual disabilities, whether or not they fall on the autism spectrum, throughout the entirety of their lives. We offer tools and support projects dedicated to providing them with stimulating, adapted environments that facilitate their path towards a life of autonomy and personal growth.
Nice. Big fan of that cause, actually. We're still swimming, by the way. That entire speech didn't even get us close to the end of this level. It's notably, this is a world record holder in the category Lovebird's favorite stage in the entire game.
Yep.
There's a game we like to play where you judge how good your Croctopus was based on how many pianos you hear at the end here.
Yeah, $5 donation for every piano we hear.
No. that was a few pianos. I'm not gonna count them. Anyway, this is Torchlight. This level is going to be making heavy use of what are called back boosts. When you jump on an enemy that Diddy cannot bounce on, you get like a recoil. But the recoil is based on the direction you're pushing on the D-pad, not the direction you're facing. So when you land on them, you flick left for a second, and you'll get a bounce to the right. It's pretty slick, saves frames, and it looks cool. Also, you'll notice we didn't get the light bird. He lags the game just a ton. So you just do the level in the dark. It's fun. And now for a very complicated glitch setup. So he's got the super jump state on Diddy. Didn't work out. Unfortunately, despawned the second armadillo. Gonna have to play the stage as intended. He's trying to set up for a super jump roll, which is he was gonna roll off that tire onto the army as like it hit him, and he was gonna ascend into the sky and have roll speed and fly over the entire level. But whoop, shorted, unfortunately.
Oh, we need to restart anyways.
Yep, we get another crack at it. Just showing off the whole game. Too far right again. The hard part about the setup for that glitch is like your positioning on the camera, because enemies in Donkey like despawn incredibly easily for touching like any side of the screen. And you need that guy to stay loaded to be able to do the trick. But it's kind of chill because this level owns. You get to do like tire rolls everywhere. It's got a lot of like cool cycle skips. It's a pretty fun level to do fast. It's kind of a shame that we have a trick that skips it.
Yeah, it's just really fun to play.
On to the fourth boss. It's the first boss again, but now he's red. Please hold your applause till the end. You can stand up here. Lets you get that hit pretty instantly. If there used to be a trick in all stages where you would kill Donkey here to skip a cycle, which is awesome because it kills Donkey. But that is no longer faster because of another trick that's about to come up. This next stage, Oil Drum Alley, which is going to require that you have a second Kong. Notably, Rock's going to be going for the harder variant, I believe. Let's see here. Woo! Got it.
I bunk.
Oh no! That sucks. He got the frame, but he bonked the wall, which took all his momentum away. I mean, you could have finished the level that way. It would not have been very fast. Would have been incredibly slow, but you could have done it. Hey man, at least you hit the frame. That's like the hardest part. But now we get to play this level also. This is another level that's actually like really fun that happens to have a skip over it. So it's not that bad when you miss it, I guess. Like Marathon, you get to see the level. It's cool. Warpless tech, or NMG tech, I guess. Still do the jump roll in Warpless. The extended roll to get under the cam there. It's pretty cool. The flames only have a hitbox for like the last couple of frames of their animation, so you can kind of just tap dance on them and not get burned. As long as you don't stay on them for too long, you're usually fine. That's the last stage with a warp in it, and it would have been a several minute long auto scroller, so thank you Rareware for not making us do that. Right, here comes another attempted jump roll, taking damage on that guy on purpose to give himself the state.
Yep.
Unfortunate. So now we're gonna play Antics as intended too. That's kind of how it goes with this game. A lot of these those frames, it's like they're allegedly frame perfect. Sometimes people claim that some of them have more frames, some of them have less. Not a donkey scientist, but they make up a lot of the run, and it's like either you get them or you don't. Makes the game really inconsistent at the high level, like between runners of equal skill. Like, if a race of this game will often come down to who hits more frames. And that's especially notable with some of the ones in World 6. Which we're going to be seeing shortly, because this game is, we're cruising through. Anyway, Poison Pond is the final water level. Final instance of Vanguard, so... He's, right at the start of this level, and that's pretty great because he's really fast, and also he has a pretty beneficial property in this level in particular. These mincers will not hit him if you're in the middle of a lunge as you pass them. So you can clip through them a little bit and save time that way. And we're going to be seeing a pretty cool use of that right here.
No.
Ah, dang it. Unfortunately, did not get through the second mincer. Unfortunately, if you get hit there, Unguard goes off the left side of the screen and despawns entirely. It'll happen. But, it's not that big of a deal. For this last section, here's a little cheat. If you just, like, mash B, stay at the top of the screen, none of the fish will ever hit you. You ever find yourself unguardless, that's the easy way out. Right, MCM. This level has a really cool glitch in it. By grabbing Donkey, swapping on the ground, and then rolling into the running into the minecart, not jumping, we get a weird state where you can infinitely roll. The game thinks that you're on the air, on the ground at all times. So you can roll, jump, roll, jump. You can actually, like, basically fly. And he's going to use that to get a jump roll off of those birds. Jump roll, in that instance, you just hit Y as you hit him. It's the same frame. And you get this weird, glitchy state where Diddy is just, like, flinging through the air. Unfortunately, the midair state ends when you pass that tire. I don't really understand why. I've heard a few theories. Ooh. For the aggressive tire skips. Tire rolling into these guys in the minecarts instead of bouncing off of them saves the time it takes for you to bounce up and then come back down. Saves just some frames every time. Gotta shave them off everywhere you can. Coming up into Blackout. This level, the lights alternate on, I believe it's a 62 frame interval. It's a really random number. It's not quite a second. They go on, they go off. You basically have to play the level half the time in the dark. There's also a lot of really fast rolls and a lot of, like, really cool extendos and skips for cycles. Overall, this is one of the most, like, difficult stages in the run, for sure. And you have to do half of it in the dark. Like, it would be a hard stage if you could do it without the lights flicking on and off. Like, on top of that, you also have to manage the light cycles. Oh yeah, I never even mentioned. The reason he's mashing a ton at the end of every stage is a trick called fanfare skip. Diddy is supposed to do a dance at the end of every level. If you're mashing buttons when that happens, it just cuts it off early. That works in every version of the game except 1.2, which unfortunately is the version that will be on the Virtual Console if you happen to be wanting to play this game on Switch or any other official Nintendo emulating system. That saves about 40 seconds over the course of the run, and it just doesn't work on VC versions, so unfortunately, if you wanted to run on that, you'd be out of luck. Anyway, we played as Donkey here because Donkey actually is fast for one time in the game. It's against this boss, because the boss's cycles only advance when you kill the enemies. Donkey one-shots the enemies, Diddy doesn't, so he actually saves time. That we found the use. And now, for probably the most infamous trick in all stages, this level is Tanked Up Trouble. We commonly abbreviate it as TUT. It's a very long auto-scroller, and there are several jump rolls in this stage, several frame-perfect tricks that will skip the auto-scroller. And they're all pretty difficult for a lot of different ways. They're all at varying degrees of difficulty and time save. Here comes the first one right here. This is called Creme Tut. Ooh, we're getting the good one. All right.
Now it's time for the B.
Now it's time for the bees, yeah. So this is the fastest variation. This is Creme Tut. The setup for that is really hard because you have to position yourself with the creme and then not land back on the platform. Now he has to dodge these bees, which he did. Nice. If your height was too high, you actually touch that barrel there, get shot into the abyss, and die. Because it shoots you straight down to the platform that's not there. But, that's a hard trick, like, by the way.
Yeah, man, I don't understand.
Genuinely a difficult trick. Now we're going for another one. This is a newer trick, so... unfortunate. You can get, like, a jump roll off of that, like, Ramby crate. It's really strange. But, unfortunately, he didn't get it. Jumping ends the state, so you can't try again if you fail it. You just have to, like, play the level. Anyway, this is Ramby the Rhino. He has built-in input delay in this game. Yeah, that's about right. What was attempted there is you carry him to these mincers and you damage boost. And, like, kind of fling yourself over the gap with the momentum. But, Ramby sucks, so he got hit early, and we didn't get to see that. Unfortunate. But it had to go that way. Alright, Misty Mine. Now here's another flyover stage. Another instance of the super free roll from earlier. Okay, it should be good. So, by grabbing onto a rope, you notice he kind of floated down. So he's in the midair state despite having ground control. And that's how the super free roll works. You just, like, do that little zigzag roll next to the wall. You want to roll through 4 guys before you take off. At 4 enemies, roll speed no longer goes higher. Rolling through more than 4 doesn't make you any faster anymore. So by rolling through the level with the speed of 4 guys, you basically just fly over the entire stage. And that's it. It's over. There's a whole lot of level down there. So now he's going backwards again. Now he's setting up a... this is called Split Up Glitch. And we're not going to see the payoff for this for a second. He also had to die over a pit there, which means the glitch is now in full effect. The game now thinks that Rock is controlling Donkey, even though he's Diddy. And that's going to be beneficial later. It also means something very dangerous. At this exact moment in time, if Rock takes damage over not a pit, the game will soft lock. Game will try to call Donkey, and Donkey's not on screen, so it doesn't know what to do, and he'll just be frozen forever. He'll be in Donkey Purgatory, and the run will unfortunately be over.
I have a backup save, though.
Yeah, I figured you had it under control. It's pretty scary, but it's also very fast because of what you're going to see in a moment here. In the next stage after this one ends. Especially this section right here, the bee pit. Very spooky to try to go fast through. Taking okay, we're good. Alright, now some black magic is going to happen. So he's currently controlling Donkey and Diddy at the same time. We're going to grab this barrel, which contains our Donkey. We're going to ride it over this bonus barrel here. We're going to enter the bonus barrel with both Kongs at the same time, and now the level is over. That's a peril skip. A lot happens in a short amount of time that makes the game very upset, and the game clears the level instead of like any other thing it could do. Notably, to do that, it has to be a level that has 2 paths drawn from it. Like, it doesn't... you can't even do it in, like, any stage where the conditions be met. It has to have 2 exits leading for it to count as finishing the stage. Such a bizarre glitch. But, it's fast. Notably, also, if you reset the game and reloaded this save file, the level would no longer be cleared. It would have erased having finished itself. So you would have beaten K. Rool, but not beaten 6-5. It's really strange. Anyway, this is K. Rool. He's a cutscene, just like every other boss in the game. Kind of an unfortunate end, but at least the music is great. Notably, also playing as Donkey. Donkey saves time in this fight. It's really strange. Also, most people swear that it's a lot easier to get quick hits, crownless hits, we call them, with Donkey. The only tech that makes this fight go any faster is hitting K. Rool as soon as it's possible to, which requires you to jump on him pretty aggressively. There's like a different setup for all of them. Sometimes it really does look like you're gonna get hit if you do like a frame perfect crownless hit, but you gotta save the frames. And yeah. He did it. He's dead. The game's over, right? The game's over, dude. Look, it's credits. It's a nice run. Credits. The game was coded by a claptrap. That's true. The end? Question mark? That's kind of weird. I don't know what's going on with all that.
Sorry, I forgot to hit the timer. Oh wait, what?
He's alive! Who could have seen this coming?
No one, I'm sure.
What a fantastic prank. I'm sure absolutely nobody expected this.
And fantastic spelled with a K.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So if you do not jump with K. Rool at the end, your run is invalid. It's just the laws. And yeah, that's real time.
Real time as an RTA or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
Exactly. And that's Donkey 1.
What was the time? I don't have my split up, so I don't.
It was 35-35.
Oh, okay, so
Not bad,
a
not
lot
bad.
of death in it, so it's okay.
Definitely a really run. Showed off a lot of what this game can do.
Yep, I hit Crimped up, so that was
Nice.
something. The hardest trick in the game.
Yeah, the hardest trick in the game. We got that one. That's all that matters.
Yeah, that's the KC1. That's the end for me. I want to thanks everyone that look at the run, and I want to big thanks to Baseman Hero that commentated. That really helped me out, and thanks to NoReset to have me on their show and to do that for a good cause.
Very welcome, and thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
Which, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, all the good things must come to an end. But this has been a terrific weekend. But, for better or worse, unfortunately as bittersweet as it is, we have made it to the final run of the marathon. We will follow up this amazing Donkey Kong Country run by rockjmt with Donkey Kong Country 2 Diddy's Conquest 102% with Ryan Ford 522 on the SNES. We're going to go on a short break. We're going to get that ready for you, and we'll come right back. Don't go anywhere. You don't want to miss it.